But let me know when you want me to start.
Yeah, let's wait a few more moments just to give a chance to last. For those who might be late, and okay, so several people join us in several minutes, and once more, hi everyone. It's a last session of Zebra Sales Academy, and on this session we will have Enable and his representative, Mr. Maxim Akimov, who will tell us more about how to be successful providing services with Enable solutions. And after him will join us my colleague Andrei Shabata, which is managing Enable program at Zebra Systems, and he will tell us a little bit more about each Enable solution that are available for you. So that's our last session, and at the end maybe I will wrap up a little bit and just remind you on several activities we are organizing and preparing for the future months. Mr. Akimov, please, stage is yours.
Thank you, Nebojša. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for your time. Thank you for dedicating this time for being with us. Yeah, my name is Maxim, and I'm responsible for Eastern Europe in our company. So my job is to make sure that Zebra serves you in the best way and provides you all materials and information and products that we have. And as Nebojša said, I'm actually going to talk about how to be successful selling services, actually in general, not just with Enable, because we believe, well, that's our core message, that our mission is to empower MSPs. Our mission is to make MSPs successful. And I'm tell you why. I guess, I mean, I presume that most of you see themselves as a reseller and service providers, right? So you resell software, hardware, and provide some services to your end customers. And in this case, and if you stick with us for some time, you will notice that Enable is significantly different from majority of vendors that you have in your portfolio. Because well, I've been working for several vendors in my life, and I know that majority of vendors see resellers as a door opener to end customer. So they do business for end customers. I mean, they produce products for end customers. Reseller makes a sale, gets his own margin, provides support, but generally vendors see end customer as a as the one who would consume their products and services. And in this situation, you have all these issues with deal protection, deal registration, competition, price dumping, and so on, so on, so on. All of this doesn't exist in our world. For us, you guys are our customers. We don't give you products to resell to your end customers, even though you can do it. I mean, don't get me wrong, you still can do it. But our main focus is to give you tools that would allow you to build your own service offer, and this, let's say, product you would then offer to end customers. And again, we give you a tool, a foundation, and then it's up to you how to price your service, how to call it, how to position it, how to market it. Completely up to you. So there is no basically competition on our product between partners. You just compete with other service providers, but you have, I mean, you compete on your own rules. It's your own service. It's up to you how to build it again. So you have much more flexibility to position it properly. That's why I'm saying that our mission is to empower MSPs. And as we are on a SaaS model, our only way to grow our business is to make sure that you guys are growing. That's why we're interested in making you as successful as possible and providing you all possible tools to make you guys successful, because otherwise our business gets shrinking. That's just the fact. A little bit about our history. N-able appeared on the market about 20 years ago, and that time it was a Canadian company who developed a product which is now is known as N-central. Then SolarWinds acquired that company and decided to build an MSP department inside of SolarWinds. So they acquired several other companies and built this core, I mean, a department that was focused on developing MSP business. But a couple of years ago, SolarWinds realized that that department was not a best fit to the core business, because we, as MSP business, we are growing much faster than a core business. First of all, our business model was completely different because we were targeting resellers, I mean, service providers. We were working on SaaS model rather than on proprietary license, as SolarWinds does. So we were not a best fit to SolarWinds business model. That's why a couple of years ago they made a decision to spin us off as a separate company. So since, I believe, a year right now, we are publicly traded independent company, N-able. And by the way, for those who are still interested, we were not affected by that security incident that SolarWinds had, like, what, 1.5 years ago. So our products were not affected, just to make it clear. So we have some history and we have some expertise to share with you how to be successful in MSP world. But first of all, why we even talk about MSP and why we believe it makes sense to jump into MSP world. I mean, what MSP basically mean from financial point of view? From financial point of view, it means recurring revenue that you get every month, no matter what. And it makes a big change from when you switch from traditional reselling model to this recurring revenue model, because you are, first of all, able to manage risks in much better way. Because if you know that, I mean, actually, it's a great paradigm shift when you understand in the beginning of the month that all your current expenses for this upcoming months are already covered by the invoice that they're going to issue like today. All other revenue you might get going to be extra. So you don't have a headache anymore how to pay to your employees, basically, because your expenses are already covered. So you can manage your risks in much better way. You can manage your growth much better, because if you have this foundation of recurring revenue, everything else you can get going to be on top. So you can build a strategy to get this additional revenue, because you already have a foundation and you know that you are safe. Your company costs more. I'm going to talk about that a little bit later, but if your company builds its business on recurring revenue, your company will just cost more than if you just resell products and services. I mean, products and software. Yeah. More predictable profits. Again, recurring revenue gives you a great level of predictability in your business. And fewer fire drills. Because if you're in a truly MSP business, and not just doing break fix things, you will probably work on making sure that customers don't have issues rather than constantly fix those issues. So your work become more predictable, and you have less issues with your customers, less alarms, and less like security issues with your customers. We believe, I mean, we see, actually not we, but it was Gartner who specified 4 different business models that are currently seen on the market. And they are right now on the screen from less mature to the most mature. So from reactive to managed. All of these models have, I mean, if you are in MSP world, you obviously provide services that can be divided into separate categories. It's IT services, it's security, probably some backup, cloud, and professional services. But what you do in these areas is completely different, and it depends on which model you basically work in. So reactive business model basically means that you have some agreement with the customer, and when customer has an issue, he comes to you and you fix this issue, right? So basically you sell a time of your technicians to your customers. Sometimes it might be in the form of selling block of hours in the beginning of the month, but in essence, anyhow, you just sell time of your technicians to the end customers. This is the most popular and the most common model on the market right now, but at the same time, this is the least profitable and the least sustainable model on the market. And if you guys stick with this model, eventually you will find this business not profitable for you, because every time there will be somebody else who do basically same things for less money. And stickiness of customers to you as a business is much less in this model. Then some of your customers might decide that, well, I mean, for example, issues with viruses are getting repetitive, and maybe it makes sense to pay service providers some monthly fee to prevent those issues rather than to pay every time to fix those issues. So they start paying you a monthly fee for mitigating some particular issue in their network. And you, as a service provider at that level, would have a list of services, similar to a menu at the restaurant, that you could offer to customers, and customers will just pick, like, I want like manage pickup, well, maybe I won't manage antivirus, and everything else you guys gonna fix for me when it breaks. Fine, but at least at this stage, customers will start to pay you recurring revenue. This is important change from the previous model, that they are starting to pay you recurring revenue. This is already something you can work with, and something you can grow to fully, full-scale managed service offer. When you switch to proactive model basically means that you overtake the whole infrastructure of the customer, and you do whatever it takes to prevent customers' issue of any kind, of any sort. And in this model, you probably want to start to have a closer look to automation of your processes, because this is actually, you have more customers, and that would require more attention, but you want to provide those services in the as automated way as possible. And make sure that your technicians spend their actual time on something more important, and all these day-by-day tasks will be fully automated. And on fully managed model, you would not just overtake the whole infrastructure, but also take responsibility for any incident happened in a customer environment. So basically, if something goes wrong, if there is any issue, customer doesn't pay you additionally. So you are responsible for fixing this issue according to your SLA in a timely manner for a monthly fee that he already pays for you. So obviously he would pay you much more in this case, but you have a full responsibility to fix those issues on your own expense. And in this case, you probably even would want to choose your customers. Maybe you would want to start to have some prerequisites for your customers, that they would have some particular template for their workstation and servers, that it would have some particular security tools on there, and some policies that they would follow. And transition between those models is not just it's not like well, we will make our business better and we will jump to managed services. It doesn't work like that. It's a truly you will have to reinvent yourself, reinvent your business on a way between those different business models. And think about that. In a reactive stage, you basically sell your time, right? Sell the time of your technicians to end customers. In fully managed model, you sell insurance to your customers. So it changes a mind of doing business, of what you're selling and what you're focused on. And if, let's say, in the reactive model, you can afford an owner or CEO of the business to be an engineer and to fix those things manually, then in managed services, it doesn't work like that. In this case, your CEO and your owners will be focused more on business development, on how to run a business rather than hands-on operations, technical stuff. And customers will also change. I have to say you that not all customers will be ready to jump from reactive model to managed model. Majority of them will stick to reactive model, and that's fine. But my message here is that if you stick with a reactive model, you will eventually fail, most probably. So the only way to grow yourself as a business is to develop expertise and introduce more and more managed services, proactive services, and to get customers who are ready to pay you money for these proactive and managed services. In this case, you'll have a much higher stickiness level of those customers. They will pay you much more, and the valuation of the company will rise. Think about the following. Imagine your company is doing, I don't know, 100,000 euro a year in revenue. So if this 100,000 euro a year is done in a reactive model, your company would cost roughly 30,000 euro. So basically 1/3 of your annual revenue. If you go to managed model, and if you do the same 100,000 euro revenue, your company will cost 300,000 euro. So 3 times of your annual revenue. So you see that valuation of your company when you move from reactive to managed services grows approximately 10 times. I would like to cover those models a little bit in more specifics. So again, in reactive model, your customers basically are very price sensitive. They are very scared about any type of contracts. They're not ready to, to sign any contracts. They just want you to fix those things. They don't have any IT budgets. They're not ready to dedicate any IT budgets. And well, again, that's probably the most common model, but at least profitable for you. And for you, it makes sense to decrease a portion of such customers in your portfolio and start looking for those who are ready for more predictable and profitable relationship with you. So in a la carte model, they, again, as I said, they start to understand that for some issues, it might be better to pay a monthly fee, and somebody would work on preventing those issues rather than constantly fix those issues, right? So if in a reactive model, for example, in security, you would support just existing software and do remote on-site and remote and on-site support. In that model, you'll have already managed antivirus, managed patch management, managed backup. So your own product that you would choose, and you would sell it as a managed services to them. In proactive model, when you overtake a full network of the customer, customer itself is a different company from what we saw before, right? So they already have IT budgets. They're critically dependent on their network. This is important. They understand that their business actually depends on their network, on their IT infrastructure. And if something goes wrong with their IT infrastructure, they have more losses then they would pay you monthly to prevent those issues from happening. Yeah, in this case, they will pay you like fully monthly recurring revenue. You would have to automate your work, but you would still charge them for issues that happen. I mean, that will be out of scope of your contract. And in this scenario, you would probably stick to some set of tools and that and you would consolidate your tools and your instruments. So rather than provide variety of different antiviruses, you would probably stick to one particular antivirus that and you trust to that antivirus, and he will try to reduce money spent on teaching your new employees on different tools, on different antiviruses. Same with backup, same with other security means. So you would choose just one particular tool that solves one particular model and stick to that, and you will try to standardize as many tools as possible, and you will try to automate as much work as possible in your environment. And yeah, and fully managed model, as I said, you are responsible for mitigating those issues that might occur in customer network. So you take everything possible to make sure those issues don't occur. Obviously, it means heavy monitoring of everything that's going on in the customer network. Obviously, it means best-in-class security tools. And it means when you speak to customers, it's not just speaking about technical support. It's more speaking about business development of the customer and how IT can help them to achieve their business goals. As I said, not all customers are prepared to jump into these proactive, managed, more expensive, more profitable models. What we see is that 75% of them still sit at that break fix, or let's say reactive models, and that's fine. I mean, something you cannot change, but my message is that if you want to be successful, you need to reinvent yourself and find those customers who are ready to pay for more advanced services. This is the only way to grow your company and to become more profitable as a business. But a good thing here is that regardless of the model you are in right now, we as Enable have a proper tool for you to do your job in the best way. And we have expertise to teach you how to jump to the next business model. So if you are right now in a break fix, we can show you how to build your offer, how to build your program to start offering more like a la carte like services. If you are in a la carte, we can show you how to build your bronze, silver, and gold service packages that you would offer to your customers, and you would charge based on these service packages. And just as an example, if you move to like fully managed segment, you would be able to run all these monitoring and managed services for the server in this case in completely automated way. So your technicians will be doing something else, something more important, but your systems will be built in the way they will do all these services and provide great value to your customers completely in completely automatic way. They will automatically open tickets for the customers. They will automatically fix things if needed, and automatically close those tickets. So you would need just to bill your customers for for tickets if needed, or to provide them a report showing a value of your services. So automation is our main target, because we understand that for MSPs, it's very important to automate the day-by-day operations. This is what we do. This is what we can teach you how to do. And this is, I think, one of our key values as a vendor here. Popular mistakes that MSPs are doing. Selling against yourself. It means that a lot of MSPs try to sell better service on a lower price. That just doesn't work. If you provide better services, you have to charge a higher price. Otherwise, you will not become profitable. Again, not all customers will agree to pay higher price for better service, but you just need maybe to find another customers in this case. But better services should require a better price. Offering predictability without managed services agreements. We saw that happens that some MSPs don't have a proper SLA contract, but their customers still expect them to fix issues, let's say in 4 hours. And but you don't have SLA with them. And in the moment when you have a customer who is ready to sign proper SLA, you need to make sure that that first customer who doesn't have that SLA will have to go to the end of the queue, because yes, you like them, you are a friend with them, they are your customer, but they don't pay you for SLA. So I mean, they should be served after you serve the one who pays you for SLA. Offering light alternatives to fully managed. Don't overpromise. You need to specify in your agreements what exactly you do, and if you do just a set of services that you can deliver, make sure that customer sees that as a set of services and not more. We can send you guys a sample of scope of work for different business models, so you would understand what best-in-class MSPs offer to their customers. I can share it with Zebra, and Zebra would share that with you later. Examples of the programs and examples of scope of work that MSPs offer to end customers. Just testing the waters. What it means? It means that if you don't take MSP business seriously, maybe it doesn't make even sense to try, because if you just try and don't dedicate proper resources and don't see it as a future of your company, eventually it will cost you money, it will cost you some nerves, and you will not find it profitable enough. You need to make a decision that your company switches to MSP services, and then you need to start working on that. Yeah, not leading with managed services. It means that basically at some stage, you as a, let's say, CEO or a unit leader, you need to stop working in the business, but you need to start working on the business. So your role is to designing a future for the company and not fixing customer issues. So yeah, this is important to understand. So how do we do all this great stuff? What we have to offer? Ondra in a few minutes gonna cover our products in more details, in more specifics, but this is just an overview of what we have. Obviously, if you want to prevent issues from happening, you need to monitor and manage your customer environment. This is what our products, remote monitoring and management platforms do. So we have two products with similar functions, but slightly different. It's a remote monitoring and management platforms. One of them is called just RMM. This is cloud only. It's a solution. Very simple. Any technician can learn it to provide already initial services in like 2-3 hours. Very simple, very powerful, and quite flexible. Second one is called N-central. It's on premise, and it's more for more demanding MSPs and more demanding environment. It is more flexible, more customizable, but it would require you probably a little bit more time to learn it. But again, we know that in our region, some customers demand such solution to be on premise only. So for such cases, N-central is a great fit. And generally, we see in a world that bigger MSPs prefer N-central just because it's more powerful, more customizable. On that platforms, we have security models that you can include to your service offer. Patch management is included with no extra cost to both RMM platforms. Then we have antivirus and EDR. Again, antivirus is traditional technology, everybody knows. EDR is more advanced technology that protects you from antiviruses and from viruses and malware. Similar thing for web protection and DNS filtering. Web protection is traditional technology, signature based. DNS filtering is more advanced, AI based and machine learning based. So again, similar to EDR versus antivirus, we have DNS filter versus web protection. Up to you and up to your customers which tool to use. We have mail protection and archiving. Obviously, your customers require their mails to be protected. We have a great tool to do that. Password and documentation management. This is actually quite, I would say, sexy tool, which was developed by one of our MSPs in the past for their own needs. But a tool was so great that they decided to sell it to other MSPs first. And it was actually so great that we decided to acquire them as a company and include Passportal to our own portfolio. And right now we see that MSPs just love it. I mean, it's quite simple, but it does what it needs to do. It stores and manages your passwords for MSP environments, particularly in a more secure and in a more productive way, so you can do your work properly. Backup. Not many people know, but we have a backup solution. I mean, there are many vendors that people kind of hear about. Not many people hear about N-able Backup, and that's, I guess, our mistake of our, well, probably marketing, or maybe a lack of focus of our marketing. It's because technology-wise, our backup is great, and if you guys in the position to look for another backup vendor, have a look at N-able Backup. You will be positively surprised, trust me. So all these products are multi-tenant because we understand that MSPs live in multi-tenant environment. They are secure because we take security seriously, and yeah, we understand that MSPs are providing security services in the first place. So products have to be secure. They are built for automation. As I said, MSPs. I mean, the only way to be profitable in MSP world is to automate your work as much as possible, and that's what we do. That's what we can help you with. Our products include a great variety of tools to automate your day-by-day works, and yeah, they are optimized for ecosystem. Means that you can integrate many other additional tools and models to those key elements that we have. But in addition to products, we also have some business resources, and I would not discount them actually. And one of them, actually, I would mention is MSP Institute. MSP Institute is a well, many vendors have some sort of academy, institutes, or stuff like that, where they would put some trainings on their products, how to use products in the best way. In our case, we go beyond that. It's not just trainings on their products. It's trainings on how to do business in the best way. We collect best practices, and we run trainings on how to, how to find, how to run telemarketing campaign, how to find new customers, how to position your, proactive service offer to your customers, how to build your program properly, how to build your NOC department properly. So for all these questions, we have answers. And yeah, we have even special people in the company whose job is specifically develop the expertise and share this expertise with the customers. That's why I believe that we are a great partner to any MSP, because we provide not just products, but also a great business expertise, and we can help you to become better as a business. Security products. Well, my main message is that security, I mean, threats are evolving, and it's not enough anymore to have just backup, firewall, antivirus, patch management, as it used to be 10 years ago. It's more complex. It needs to have a system. It needs to have several layers, and this is what we can do with our products. I'm trying to speed up here because I would like Ondra to have some time to actually show you the products or talk about products themselves. So my message here is that with our products, you can build a foundation of that layered security approach to your customers and protect them in a proper, well, I would say scientific way to make sure that you have tools to prevent threats on all possible layers of your environment. That's it from my presentation. I see that there are some questions. So please send samples of the program. We'll do Q&A. All right, we'll do Q&A. Proposition regarding PSA. We have a product called MSP Manager, quite simple. I believe Ondra might be talking about that in a few minutes. If not, I can send you a presentation and a link to a trial to that products. And I believe I'm done here and giving the stage to Ondra to talk about more real and more real stuff.
Thank you. Ondra, stage is yours.
Okay, thank you both. I will be sharing my screen in a second. Hope you all see it well.
Yes.
Okay, great. So I will give a quick overview of the products. Maxim already mentioned most of them. And we will start with RMM. That's usually the core. Either RMM or N-central is the core of your MSP business, because it gives you, of course, the ability to monitor everything. And without seeing any issues, you can't prevent them. So in case of RMM, as Maxim mentioned, it's very simple to learn. You have just an online dashboard. You don't have to install anything besides agents on the devices you want to monitor. It's ideal for smaller starting MSPs. And aside from monitoring your desktops and servers, either on Windows, Linux, or Mac, you can also monitor network devices through SNMP. And most of the checks that you want are automatically set up once you install the agent on your device. But in case you have some lesser known software or any services you are running that you want to check yourself, you can define your own monitoring templates. Besides monitoring, it also provides patch management and an overview of installed hardware and software. And you can also generate reports on changes in the hardware and software. So in case somebody is leaving the company, you can be sure they aren't leaving with any extra hardware. As for the monitoring, you can also link tasks to it. So let's say some server has low storage. You can automatically resolve that by deleting temporary files, emptying trash in case it's a terminal server where users can actually populate the trash. And there are, of course, many tasks you can either launch as a reaction to some monitoring event, or you can launch them manually from the dashboard. Just right-click the device and, let's say, launch the task to install some software. Of course, you have a quick overview of the whole customer. So you can see all devices with issues, or whether you have agents or backup, for example, on all the devices that they are running. And you will also see an overview of patch management status, so both the operating system and the common third-party software. As I mentioned with the basically, with the software and the hardware, you can generate some reports either to have some overview of what's happening or to show your value to the customer. And in the basic license, you also have Take Control, which is in short an alternative to TeamViewer. It's got all the basic features you need and then some extra, and I will mention it separately. And you can also integrate either antivirus or EDR into RMM. You have an overview of your backup, whether it's enable backup or anything else, and Passportal and MSP Manager. And besides all of that, you can also have web protection, disk encryption manager, and NetPath. Web protection is fairly obvious in what it does. Disk encryption manager as well, and NetPath is a tool that allows you to monitor a path through network, either in your own network or to some cloud service. For example, if they use, let's say, Microsoft 365, you can have a path monitoring setup to that. And whenever there's an issue, you will instantly see on which point along the path is the issue. So it can be in the local network, it can be on the internet provider side, or it can be in the cloud. If it's available in DNS records, it will also show you contact information for the administrators, so you can resolve that issue as quick as possible. The second alternative for monitoring is N-Central. It's either on-premise, so you will most likely install that as a virtual machine, or you can have it hosted in the cloud. It's easily scalable to very large environments. Just like RMM, you have a multi-tenant environment where you can divide everything into separate customers and sites or departments. And there's more deep customization than you have in RMM. But the core functionality is the same. It's got patch management, asset tracking, monitoring, and of course, Take Control. Again, you can have it integrated with either antivirus or EDR and almost all the other good things besides web monitoring. While N-Central doesn't have web monitoring, you can also have DNS filtering here, which is a fairly new feature. And it's one step further than classic web filtering because you can check the DNS request before even any connection is attempted from the device. You can also integrate it with Microsoft Intune in case you are using that. And of course, any ticketing solution you want. Next up is MailAssure. Maxim already mentioned why it's important to have your mail servers protected, but basically it's a cloud-based email security solution. But what's fairly unique and really nice about it is that it also provides business continuity. So in case you have a mail server of your own and you have some issues there, you need to do some maintenance, whatever the case may be, when the mail server is down, MailAssure can take over and the users can either use a web interface or their client and just check incoming mail and send mail as usual. Of course, there's all the things that are almost necessary at this point. So checking SPF, DKIM, and DMARC, some anti-spam antivirus solutions. But again, a more unique part is threat intelligence. So since MailAssure is cloud-based and many MSPs already use it, it's got a huge amount of samples of both spam and regular mail. So since it can learn from that huge amount of samples, It's fairly reliable just on the Bayesian filter side. You can integrate it with Microsoft 365, Google Apps, or anything else because you just put it in your MX record. Incoming mail will go to MailAssure, and from MailAssure, again, standard SMTP. So there's no compatibility issues. And last feature is the archivation. You can archive your mails, set retention periods, and of course, always secure and encrypted. Then there's enable take control. As I mentioned, it's integrated with both RMM and N-central, and you can access devices remotely. Through this tool, you have support for anything that you need. So multiple monitors, high resolutions, and all the other things that you might encounter. You also have drag and drop, copy and paste integration. So transferring files is fairly easy. And besides that, you can open a separate window where you can just browse the files without viewing the desktop. You also have a separate remote registry and command line access, so you don't have to disturb the user. You can just work in the background while they continue working on their desktop. There's integration with Passportal. So if all your customers use it as a password manager, you can just simply, get into any problem applications. You will have access there without the need to actually know the password. Everything will be in the management, encrypted and safe. And that's mainly useful for unattended remote sessions where the customer isn't sitting at the computer at the moment. But if they want to have it another way, so if they want to if they want you to be able to remote in only when they are present, you can set up a window that will pop up that you want to connect, and they have to confirm. It's another feature that you can include in your SLA. And yeah, as I mentioned, you can have remote access to command line or PowerShell and access registries and files without disturbing their work. Next up is EDR. That's again both integrated into RMM and N-central. It's a fairly nice endpoint security solution because compared to standard antivirus, not only is the detection rate better, but you also have automated rollback. So in case of some ransomware attack or any other type of malware that might change multiple files, you will just get an automated rollback, and everything will be in the last known good state without any need for you to restore from backups and so on. You also have fairly detailed forensic reports. So if there is an attack attempt that gets, let's say, through firewall or through your mail filtering, you can find out where the weakness was and fix it for next time. And here I have a comparison of independent tests. You can see Sentinel-1, which is the EDR in N-able products on the top. And for comparison, I chose Asset, but you can find out how any other vendor does through the comparison at MITRE Ingenuity. There's quite a large amount of vendors that were tested, but Sentinel-1 has the best success rate in last year's tests. And this year, the test results aren't out yet, but I don't think there will be much change. So next up, there was a question about PSA solution. So this is it. It's called Enable MSP Manager. Again, it's a cloud-based solution. You have integration with RMM or N-central. So tickets can be created automatically. You can also use it for time tracking. So whether you are not on fully managed level yet, or you are doing some extra work for a customer, you can have MSP Manager mobile app, have a ticket open there for, let's say, hardware installation, and just easily start and stop the time tracking so you can see how much to invoice them. There's also a knowledge base management. You can have an overview of your customers. So every time someone starts a ticket, you will have all the details you need. Through integration with the monitoring solutions, you will also see details about their sites and devices. And you can have your own branded customer portal, where if a user encounters some issue, they will start a ticket themselves. And of course, last, there's integration with Take Control, so you can easily launch a remote session when there's an issue on a PC. So next up is PassPortal. And here's just a quick statistic from Enable. 89% of employees admit to retaining at least one application from a former employer. So if you, let's say, use a CRM, have your client data stored in that, and one of your employees leaves, it's fairly possible that they still have access and can use or contact those customers from another company, possibly some competition. And 49% of those users admit to logging into those accounts. So that's fairly bad, but luckily you can centrally manage all those passwords. So with PassPortal, you have, again, cloud-based password management solution. You can store passwords, of course, for all of your customers. They will have standard password manager functionality. So they can have automatic form filling and all of their passwords stored in there. You can use higher password complexity with a password manager, because users actually don't have to remember them all. And of course, it's easier to have unique passwords across every service. Besides password management, you have also documentation in there. So you can store details about every device, customer, and so on. Again, integrated with monitoring software, you will see the relevant documentation for each customer you have in monitoring. Everything is encrypted, and it's encrypted with an organization key for each organization. It's fairly important because if you lose that organization key, nobody can get to those passwords. So not even Enable can help you at that point, but at least you are sure that it's hard to access those passwords. And last up is Enable Backup. One thing that's, again, unique about it, or less common, is that it's file-based. You don't create a virtual disk image for every backup that you take. You just create a difference from what you had before and backup individual files that were changed or are new. And it really helps with speed and network usage. You have the possibility to use automatic backup integrity checks. And of course, if you want to recover, you can use either individual files that you backed up, or you can restore to a new machine with a disk image that's created afterwards. You can also backup and restore databases, and you can create offerings just for Office 365 backups or documents, which will backup just certain file types for the customer. So now we have some space for Q&A.
Great, great. We are on time. Is there anything that we did not cover so far? So just to repeat and remind you that all our sessions are recorded and will be shared with all of you. I see that several people join us later, and you will be able to check all what you couldn't get in real in time. And one more reminder in this moment that as a support to MSP business model, Zebra System created brochure, MSP cookbook, which goes through similar ideas and examples as Maxim shared with us, even further additional steps and how to avoid traps, how to understand better. It's a great cookbook and help how to make first steps and how to go and grow through with MSP business model. It's in preparation. We have MSP virtual event under the name BMSP, which will be completely focused on how to do transition with standard business model to MSP, and it's planned to be beginning of May. So you will be informed. It will be one day virtual event, several hours in row, and I believe that we will bring you even more useful information than we brought you during that series of webinars. After the in the following days, we will send you recap of those events you participated. You are welcome to share with us your thoughts, what could be better, what was good to repeat, and of course you are welcome with your questions of to increase our collaboration. That would be all from my side. I see no further questions. So anything else? Oh yes, about MSP cookbook. It's good to know that will be in all Adriatic languages. Of course, it will be in English and Czech language, and what's new, it will be in all Adriatic languages as well. Good. So that's all from our side. I wish you nice rest of the day. Thank you for spending time with us, and thank you for collaboration. So looking forward for our collaboration in the future as well. Michal, can you stop recording, please?
Yeah, sure.